Hey guys, Everything Tech Pro here. It's a great day today, 15th of August 2016, the 70th Independence Day of India. So, today it is an Independence Day special video in which we'll be discussing what Apple is going to do with India. What is Apple's future plans for India, and will Apple fans in India gonna have bright future with their devices and with Apple in the coming years? We're gonna be discussing about this. So first of all, let's talk about Apple stores. So Apple in US, Canada, and many other parts are selling directly their devices through Apple stores placed at various locations, and these stores are really awesome. I have been one or two of them, and they really amuse me with just limited number of working people. It handles about hundreds and thousands of people in just an hour. So that is the Apple Store. And now coming up to India. In India, Apple Store is currently being handled by various private companies where they sell iPhones in a private medium. It's not the Apple which sells it. It's like the authorized product sellers and service providers. It's not directly Apple, but it's authorized people who do it, like the Reliance and the Chroma Store, and you have the Mac Store, and in case of service, you have the B2X, Snipper, and maybe even iStore, you could call it, from other private service providers. You can get your iPhone serviced through them. But recently, Apple has been approaching the Indian government to open up a store in India, and that is nowhere else than Hyderabad. So Hyderabad is a very great city. It is a very great city and has all the greatest infrastructures to build up an Apple plant. But what happened was, in Indian rules, you don't have such feature of a foreign company to opening up their chain of networks in India. There are some rules, I'm not sure about that, but initially you didn't have that. But Tim Cook visited India to know more about Indian market, and in his tour he met Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi and talked about the Indian market and came to know more about the rules and regulations in India. So he came and discussed about it, and also met with the Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan, and this is the part of his schedule. And he was supposed to arrive in Mumbai, and first in a private jet, and then he met COO Jeff Williams, and they both of them were roaming around India. So, and he also was in Hyderabad on May 19th to see the location of the Apple Store if he ever got one to set up. But a bad news which was immediately given by Indian government is that they won't be allowing Apple to sell refurbished phones in India, or you could say Apple did not give an approval to the refurbished iPhone program in India. But then there was a lot of talk, and Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi also considered what Tim Cook offered. And now India has re-regularized its rules, but it was tweaked in such a way that Apple could enter with its regulations. So this you could see from Silicon Beat, and it was July of 20th. So after that, about a week or so, they stated that India is expected, but after a week or so, it was actually amended in the rules, and now we just need the thumbs up of Tim Cook. That's all is needed for him to open a plant in India. So most probably we'll be expecting a new plant in Hyderabad, or the Apple Store in Hyderabad, with the currently existing the iOS Development Center in Bangalore. So Apple will be renovating or increasing the workman capacity and the space of the Bangalore head office currently, where main service parts are shipped, and they are imported from. Next up, I'm going to talk about the iPhones. So it is just about 20 or maybe 25 maximum days remaining for the Apple event, where Apple will be launching their newer generations of iPhones, the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus. You could refer my videos. I have talked about the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus for in about a 4 or 5 videos. So, as usual, we know that this time also Apple will be launching two new phones: the iPhone 7, the 4.7-inch iPhone, and the 5.5-inch iPhone, iPhone 7 Plus. The iPhone 7 with normal specs, just change in internals, and other thing I'll be discussing later in the first image. If you notice that you don't have a flush home button, instead you have the 3D touch home button, which is pressure sensitive. That is similar to the one in the MacBook's trackpad to be precise. So and the iPhone 7 normal with all these features and no headphone jacks. That is confirmed. The headphone jack is gone for good. Next up, the iPhone 7 Plus with dual lens camera, which enhances the photo taking capacity in lower light, like the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, which could take good photos in lower light. This could also mean that Apple might be launching optical zooming for the iPhone 7 Plus. Then we came to know that the iPhone 7 may be coming in a new color, a deep blue color, and another cases. In the first image, you could see that was space black, which could be actually replacing the space gray. And now you could see that these are the dummy or mock-up models of the iPhone 7. So this came in from macatnet.it. So next up, there are certain sites such as India Today, which whose pick I'm going to show you, and I'll read out for you. It is expected that the iPhone 7 and the family will launch in five colors: gold, silver, rose gold, space gray, and a shade of deep blue, which will be the new color option. Also, space gray is said to have a deeper and darker shade this time. So the iPhone 7 in the space gray may look almost black. So this is what we saw from the previous rumors. Then coming up with another mock-up design comparison of the iPhone 6s and the iPhone 7. So both of them, you could see that the FCC labels are already there. So I think they should continue. But in most of the places, you won't see that FCC label. So that changes on place to place. And otherwise, nothing much to say, just for the antenna bands and the camera. Otherwise, there's no big difference between the iPhone 6s and the iPhone 7. Next up, I'm going to be reading about the internals. That is also from IndiaToday.com. So the rest of the hardware will improve except for the design. The RAM will be 2 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM in the iPhone 7, or this is what they have sent the smaller phone, while the bigger iPhone 7 Plus may get 3 gigabytes of RAM. But the processor in both the phones is going to be a change, and that will be A10, Apple's successor to A9, which is found in the iPhone 6s. It has been rumored that A10 will be manufactured by TSMC, the 10 nanometer process, which will make the size of the chip smaller. Apple may use this reduction in size of the chip to add another core into it. The A8X in the iPad had 3 cores, but the A9 and the A9X, which powers the iPad Pro, went back into dual core design. With the A10, Apple may give iPhone and subsequently the iPad the 3-core processor. So we could see 3 cores in the iPhone 7 with the A10 chip. I also think that we may be seeing a bigger battery in the iPhone 7 as well, because everything's size has been reduced. There may be a chance that we may be seeing it. Then coming up to the price and availability. So the iPhone 6s has been priced at 62,000. So the iPhone 7 will cost probably a few thousand rupees less, people are saying. But the same will be true for iPhone 7 Plus, which is going to be cost around 70,000. So I would say you could expect the iPhone 7 to be from a price range of 65 to 70, and there is not going to be any 16 gigabyte version. So it's going to be 32 gigabyte or 64 gigabyte. So I would say 62,000 70,000 seems a great price range in Indian rupees. And availability, so they will be launching it in the month of September 7th to be precise. You know, date can change. You never know what the dates are gonna be, because the dates are not fixed yet. Otherwise, you might be seeing it in the web page, or the Apple event would tell you the dates. So for now, the pre-order will be starting somewhat from 16th of September in India, and maybe you will be able to pre-order it but the delivery will be there in early October, or maybe in the end of the October for the Indian customers. But elsewhere, I don't know. That we'll know when the time progresses. In India, because these web pages publish this, we come to know. Next up, coming about how will you be buying? You'll be buying in a contract, or you could be buying with paying the full cost. That you have to decide. Second thing before you buy is what will you do with your previous phone? Either you would sell your previous phone, or you would do something else, because you cannot exchange your previous iPhone with the current one, or if you're not having an iPhone at all, you have to sell it because there are no exchange programs currently. So Airtel and Vodafone are the two brands which bring up the iPhones with the contract. Then these are the contract prices for the iPhone SE, 6s, 6s Plus, and the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. Old phones, I would suggest you take the photos and upload it in OLX and quicker at an immediate change. So that's it for iPhone 7. Be ready for it, and it's gonna be a hell of a phone, and it's gonna be crucial because Apple has to make its comeback from the downfall which is going on, and it has to compete against the Samsung's new Note 7 and the S7 and the S7 Edge, which is currently much more popular than the iPhone right now. Next up, coming to the Independence Day special, which Apple has given. So we have 15 apps and games in India whose prices have been reduced, or they have been made free. So on this day, just go and surf the App Store, and if you see some apps which you like and now price has been reduced, it's the best time to give it a download. Some apps have been made free of cost, so it doesn't hurt to download a free app. So you could go and download it anyway. If you don't like, you could delete it, unless you have some storage issues. Most of them have the 64 gigabyte iPhones in India, so I don't think space will be a problem for most of them. So next up, we're gonna talk about iPhones. Sorry, the iTunes. The iTunes is gonna be oh, Apple celebrates. You could see this article. Apple celebrates India's 70th Independence Day with Freedom series on iTunes. You could listen to Karan Johar's song and Alia Bhatt's special. You could buy a movie for as cheap as 150 Indian rupees. So that's a great step from Apple promoting customers in India. So and you could also listen to other music in India. So you could listen to the local bands and other bands whose prices have been reduced. Like if you want to buy some song using iTunes, the price has been reduced. So last and final, I'm going to read this article. This is saying what all are free. So uh, under Apple's Freedom series, Indian artists such as Bollywood actor Alia Bhatt, director Karan Johar, choreographer and director Farah Khan, and musician duo Salim Suleiman share some of their favorite movies and music which changed their life. For actor Alia Bhatt, it was Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara that changed her life, and Coldplay's A Head Full of Dreams defines how dreams should be. The one film she wants people to watch is Kapoor and Sons, and music from Urta Punjab is what Alia feels inspiring. So we're gonna be knowing what they like and what changed their life. So it's how they feel about the Apple Music and what people should listen in the Apple Music. So that's it, guys, for today for the Independence Day special. So I would like to wish each and every Indian around the globe an Independence Day for India. I would also wish for other people, because I won't criticize my viewers, or I wouldn't discriminate between my viewers. So happy Independence Day to everyone. If you're not celebrating one, that's okay. For all Indians, I know it's crucial. It's an Independence Day, 70th year we are celebrating straight. So, and that's it, guys, for today. And I won't be speaking the last words which I used to speak. So I would just end this video by saying Jai Hind.